It's been a few days since Julian Assange of Wikileaks dumped its latest data Vault 7 on the Central Intelligence Agency into the public domain for all the masses to wade through. The electronic Berlin Wall is breached again, and information has another opportunity to seep through the minds of greater numbers of people as to the activities of what has come to be known as the deep state, beyond the veil of people's everyday reality. However, let's not kid ourselves to the present reality. In the same world, we the people will have jammed the switchboards of our elected representatives, demanding both answers and action over the disclosures leaked over how the CIA spies and collects data on ourselves and our families from the privacy of our own homes. However, predictably, a large part of the nation desires not to be eternally vigilant and to protect their inalienable rights. If a Paul Revere rode through many towns and cities in the nation today, his cry will go unheeded. In fact, a good part of the masses prefer to be distracted by the cultural degradation controlled by the deep state. They give us bread and circuses to distract us whilst they work their nefarious agenda to take down the Republic, one of the last strongholds against them establishing their new world order. This is to be expected, as the late Andrew Breitbart was on the money when he stated that politics is downstream from culture. This distracted massive, if involved at all, believe their involvement in the political process starts and ends every 4 years when they cast their vote within a general election. What doesn't help in engaging the distracted masses is the complicit nature of the fourth estate, i.e. the fake stream media with the deep state. They have sought to bury this sort of news by a silence that is deafening, as well as to distract us with nothing issues, such as the seat-in position of Kellyanne Conway in the Oval Office recently. To demonstrate one case where the fake stream media is complicit with the deep state, you don't have to go far in a quick Google search of the Washington Post. The Washington Post is owned by Jeff Bezos, who also owns Amazon. Amazon has a $600 million contract to provide cloud services with the CIA. It is hence unsurprising to see nothing in their pages on the matter. They have brought their silence. Before we start, a quick summary. So it looks like the deep state has been lulled with a thermonuclear device by Wikileaks and the still-breathing editor Julian Assange. It is the biggest ever collection of the Central Intelligence Agency, and they appear to be dated between 2013 and 2016. That means that the information is still relevant rather than historical, and the operatives of this powerful organization are still likely to be active. So this dump shows the Central Intelligence Agency has a far more powerful division than the National Security Agency, and it has no checks or balances. The CIA hacking division produces a huge amount of weaponized malware that can infest iPhones, Androids, and worse still, they have lost control over it. Though Obama helped to build the biggest cyber attack arsenal on earth for a cool $100 billion at taxpayers' expense, and they lost it to unfriendly non-state actors. Obama used his huge arsenal against private citizens. The CIA inserted coders to create backdoors directly into our electronic devices. The CIA has turned game consoles, smart TVs, smartphones into devices that, through their mics and cameras, now spy on your family 24/7. They also turned all internet-enabled consumer products in the world into listening devices. They turned every Microsoft Windows PC in the world into spyware and can activate backdoors on demand, including via Windows updates. This includes voice conversations via Skype that are turned into text and stored into the CIA's own spy cloud. The CIA is basically Apple, Microsoft, Cisco, Google, and tech companies operating in Silicon Valley. And the CIA has tools to remote control chips in cars, trucks, and planes, medical devices, hospital technology with assassination potential. The US consulate in Frankfurt is a covert CIA hacking base. And Wikileaks implies Trump has been spied upon by the CIA. And the CIA uses hacking protocols of Russia to obfuscate its own hacks. This is the important one, and I will tell you why in a moment. What is interesting with the timing of these leaks is that President Trump made the accusation that the shadow government formulated by former President Barack Obama has embedded itself in the bureaucracy of Washington and is actively working against the new president and has wiretapped him. These documents, 1% of the sum total to be released on the CIA, show that the same CIA has been spying on everyone, and all of it was sanctioned by the former President Obama. Of course, the mainstream media calls him insane or a complete liar. Initially, the mainstream media was deafening in their silence over the matter. But why is this? President Nixon was forced to resign in 1974 because he attempted to wiretap phones and steal secret documents at the Watergate Hotel in Washington, D.C. President Obama, by contrast, has allowed effectively the whole nation to be wiretapped. And what he signed off on was completely against the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. Put simply, President Obama is a criminal. Of course, the controlled media is not doing its job and asking the hard questions. They aren't even talking about it. They are pushing a narrative that it's Wikileaks that is trying to hurt the country, not the illegal activities of the CIA and its ultimate boss, President Obama. And they will absolutely not back down and not stop pushing the equally ludicrous narrative about Trump and how the Russians gave him the White House. This is all theatre to distract and obfuscate from the illegality of the deep state. Yes, these are devastating lies. They compromise the tactics of the CIA. The fact is, the entrenched DC mandarins look to be working in concert with the shadow Obama government, with the intentions of undermining the elected president of the United States, and with the mainstream media giving them cover and ignoring the story of the leaks altogether. There is no precedent for the uncharted waters that America finds itself traveling through now. The CIA lost control of its cyber warfare package, represent a huge risk to American international security interests. The CIA is not allowed by its mandate to spy on its citizens, not to possess a cyber weapons suite of this nature. The CIA broke the law and violated the Fourth Amendment, as did Obama, who oversaw these programs of mass surveillance. All these things are bad, to be sure, but all those who are droning on about laws being broken have neglected or are missing is that the deep state, or an architecture of the government that operates outside of the democratic process, is real. What all these links are pointing to is state interference has been and publicly manifested. It's not the CIA's job to make partisan public statements, and if they can do that, who else can? This is the real story of the leaks, not the laws that have been broken, not the meme warfare center that other YouTubers are harping on about, or the fact that the CIA can kill you in your car. but there is a government within the government that is the real power behind the throne. What these leaks demonstrate is that the government of the people, by the people, and for the people has long since evaporated. Sadly, you get the government you deserve. And let's be realistic, noble adherence to the Constitution by the spy agencies are lies for the plebs that believe it. Yes, the CIA is a modern reincarnation of the dreaded East German Stasi, building up dossiers on every person in the United States. It's probably gathered to leverage against people in the future. Nothing is too absurd at this point. And sadly, it seems the American people were not able to hold on to their republic. Now America, knowing what it knows, where does it intend to go from here?